Nah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Circle of the World podcast, where we discuss Joe Abercrombie's first law series. I'm one of your hosts, Lord Chamberlain Stephanie.
I'm Will, the Archlector.
And I'm Josh, the Adeptus Historical.
We'll be starting off with The Blade itself, the first book in the original trilogy. We'll be covering the first 3 chapters of the book on this episode. So, let's get started. Guys, I just want to say I'm really happy to be here. I don't think anybody has ever done a First Law podcast before.
I've never heard of anyone.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. I mean, what an amazing idea. And so
Joel Ambercrombie is probably the best author out there, I'd have to say. So, yeah.
He's like mid-tier for me, but I am still, very excited to get into these books, especially, talking about some of these characters and the things they're getting up to at the beginning here. We will start by covering The End, which is the prologue, and Survivors, which is the first chapter, and then a couple of others that I don't remember the names of.
Will,
tell us.
Oh shit. Okay. This is our first time recording a podcast as a group too. This is very exciting. None of us have ever been on a podcast before, and we just really, we're not huge First Law fans, but there is a fandom, and however misguided it is, we do want to tap into that misguided fan base and make some money off of them. So whether or not they listen, so the book opens with the word shit. And if that tells you anything about Joe Abercrombie's writing, it shows that he really puts some thought into these fucking lines he writes. The whole chapter is, it's like 4 pages, and Logan, I guess he's the main character. I don't even know. There's no plot to this book. He just falls off a fucking cliff. Like we have no idea he's getting chased by like discount orcs, and
the Valiant brand Lord of the Rings orcs, not even really goblins.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Kirkland brand orcs for all the people from Texas. You guys know what that is.
Exactly.
You guys want to pitch in? What do you got for anything I missed?
Well, I think you're right there. Logan's supposed to be the main character, but like right off the bat, we already see him just effort and futility, falling off a cliff, getting chased by these little gray goblin guys. He doesn't seem like he's that big of a hero to me. Just taking a nosedive.
Yeah, I felt like, we're just getting this failure right off the bat. And, to your point earlier, Will, about the first word being shit, I feel like that's just kind of the trajectory of where this character is going to go. And I felt like it really spoke to me. And then seeing him fail like that, I just felt like I was left with a really good sense of this character being nobody.
Yeah, it really comes full circle like 3 books from now when he goes pitching off a cliff again oh shit, was I not supposed to spoil that at all, or are we doing spoilers?
It's a minor spoiler. It's okay.
We'll edit that out.
And Joel, he set it up right. He called the first chapter The End. He was kind of foreshadowing it for us all anyway.
Fuck,
so anybody that didn't see it coming, like, you're just not paying attention, right?
That's the other thing too, is that these books are super. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I had a different perspective on that. I saw it was called The End, and I felt like when I was done reading it, that I could have stopped right there.
Yeah,
I feel like these books are super predictable. If anything, it's just, of course, that's how it's gonna. If it's gonna be titled The End, then the last chapter, the way, is gonna be titled The fucking Beginning. And what's gonna happen? Oh, good old Logan's gonna go pitching off a cliff. Not a single character note in any of the 3 books about him either. Pretty crazy.
It is like super tropey and predictable the whole way through. It's almost like when you look at the series as a whole, and yeah, we're supposed to talk about the first book here, but you could almost read it in reverse or like any order you wanted. Like the publication order is not even really that appropriate because the plot really doesn't coincide with anything.
I honestly started with Best Served Cold, and I thought that was fine. Like, I don't feel like I lost anything, or like that I didn't need to know who Shivers was. Like, And
Totally.
Mons is new anyway. So like, why would you need to read any of the books if that's the whole story? You know?
Yeah, I know we're supposed to talk about the blade itself, but on Best Served Cold, I that was the second book I read after Red Country, and I felt like Mansa was just such a poorly written character. Really felt like she had nothing to her, and I don't really understand why. There seems to be a really rabid fan base for her, and I personally don't get it. But
I would agree.
yeah,
Vapid, maybe is the word that I
I
would.
think that's a great word. Yeah, I think it really captures her very well.
You know who was really cool though in the Heroes, which was the first book that I read, was that Weirin of Bly guy.
Oh my god, I
Loved
fucking
him,
love
right?
Weirin.
Loved Weirin. Yeah,
Oh,
He's the
well,
best character in the whole series. It's a shame we don't get more of them. You know,
easily.
he really does make Blacked Out look like just such a loser.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, Blacked Out was just kind of there for me. And I don't think he had a lot to him. Yeah, I just not.
Sorry guys, we'll edit that up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's what editing's for. We'll get that. No worries.
Yeah.
Sums up your feelings Blacked Out pretty well. Yeah.
Well, and one thing I wanted to ask too, because we have this first chapter, right, where Logan is running and he falls off the cliff and, whatever, suspend disbelief, he should have died. But he only mentions one friend that whole time, right? And so the wolf man or the dog guy or whatever, and he doesn't really talk about him. Dog dude, yeah. And then I think it's the next chapter where you meet like the real main character of the story, which is Logan's pot, right?
I was gonna say, do we want to move on to the pot chapter already? Because
way more interesting.
Yeah. Like, what has this pot been through?
I'm gonna be honest. There's a weird. I know that you guys like the pot a lot. I think that the interesting part of the pot is leaving it the fuck behind, because I think it's not. It doesn't add anything to the story, and like there's really no reason to include it. It never gets mentioned again. And there's all this sentimental value placed on it, but it never fucking matters again. And all those jackasses, there's like a First Law meme page out there, and these fucking jackasses are making memes about it. Like everybody cares about it. It's like, dude, who's crying over a piece of iron? Who gives a shit?
Like, what are you gonna do? Make some stew? And like, it's just a pot. I do feel like there was definitely, there was a moment where I thought I felt something for the pot, but by the time the chapter was over, I just felt really disconnected to both of them. I think, some people maybe want to go and follow Logan. Some people want to follow the pot. I personally wanted to put the book down. I just felt like it didn't add anything to character, to the story. It wasn't intriguing to me at all.
Well, I didn't know if we were going to get some weird, like, Harry Potter style riff where the pot comes to life, and like abracadabras, because he was talking to it like it was a person. So that, like, I was expecting that, and then for it not to happen, I felt really let down.
We'll save the magic talk, because Joel Ambercrombie is not a magic dude. He really fucking despises magic. Honestly, I think he hates fantasy. Like, I don't even think he likes the genre. Like,
I got that.
Logan, like the best part of any fantasy series is like a group of friends that everybody can get behind, like a fellowship, and Logan fucking hates his friends. Like he just takes off. His friends are 5 feet away from him after he pitches off the cliff. Oh, it's a spoiler. Shit. And he doesn't even look for him. He's just like, fuck it, I'm out. See ya. I guess everybody's dead.
I mean, I did spend honestly the remainder of the book wondering, like, why didn't he just go find his friends? He just jumps off a cliff. Literally, he's just going to end it, and then he doesn't even try to get back to them. He just goes and meets this wizard, who is okay, not that interesting. And just kind of goes
anyway. It gets replaced. It's replaced with a fucking body double, like 5 minutes into the book. Oh, yeah, shit.
It's fine, but when you look at it that way, like, we traded the pot for that body double wizard too. I just think the story could have been stronger if we would have kept the pot. Sorry, I'm a pot apologist.
I know you are, and I love you, but I just met you today, and I love you, but I'm not a pot guy. So, I guess, should we just move on to Salem Ruse?
What's up?
Oh,
Should we move on to Salem Ruse?
Oh God.
Superior Pike.
Oh,
Questions.
Is that a spoiler too? Shit.
it's just a minor one.
Okay.
Questions.
Yeah. So this chapter, right? Historically speaking, and I feel like that's my role, right? Coming here seems a lot like Spanish Inquisition, but then Adua, however we're supposed to say it, where
It's Adia.
yeah, sure.
Mhm.
They seem way more British. So I don't know. I don't know what Joe was going with here. Like the connections kind of fell flat to me.
Oh my God.
The only
But-
thing
Yeah.
when I'm reading that chapter for the first time, the only thing going through my head was, oh God, I'm sorry guys, but I just felt like he was Glokta, so sexy. Like immediately I just felt this vibe from him where I just felt so connected, especially after the disaster that was Logan, whatever his name was, his first few chapters. Glokta just had this gravitas to him, right? And this winning smile and his positive attitude. I really appreciated that. And
yeah, real
he
sunny disposition.
Yeah, he really did. And I just felt super connected to him. And I actually thought it was great.
He definitely has main character energy, you know. He walks in dick swinging, and he lays all the cards on the table. He doesn't hold anything back. He never lies to anybody. And it's crazy that he like and I read this from like a Marxist point of view. I think Joe's like a huge Marxist, and I feel like if anybody's the hero, it's Glokta, because he brings down
Yeah.
the fucking banks, and that's
Right.
it. Worker solidarity, like we get, it's all a Marxist crescendo in the finale, and Wisdom of Crowds.
Who saw him?
Oh
as
fuck,
the
I
leader
did it
at the
again.
beginning? Oh,
So
my bad,
predictable,
too.
bro.
Yeah.
So predictable. But we gotta edit that out. Shit. Man, this is hard. Fuck.
That chapter though, when we get introduced to Glokta and he comes in, just the shining white knight for sure. That scumbag ruse skimming off the top, like he got
That's
He's
he
taking
got his
down the
just
bad guys.
And that's what I mean is the capitalist pigs are being chopped to pieces in front of the blade of the worker, Glokta. And that is just so fucking cool to me. Like that Joe's just a full on Marxist. Solidarity, dude. Absolutely.
Totally. And especially when we find out later on, minor spoiler here, when we find out that Baez is actually the main villain and controls all the banks, and Glokta is able to actually, be part of the effort to take him down. I just thought it was a really great culmination of, his entire heroic journey that we see. We see the hero's journey all throughout fantasy, but I feel like Abercrombie just put such a unique spin on it. And I just thought it was really beautiful to see.
Yeah, and Glokta doesn't waste a single life, like he doesn't.
Nope.
It's not like tanky communism, where you're like throwing men at like machine gun and cannon fire. It's like totally planned out, meticulous detail, not a single piece of waste, not, very, very egalitarian, and it's to the point, and it overthrows that government. It brings down the banks, cuts the pigs up. It's beautiful.
I love your point about him not wasting anything. I mean, even when he's doing his job, he only cuts off the tiniest slivers of fingers, He just
He
wants to
doesn't
take it.
want to be doing that either. He
No.
says it. He even tells him, like, I don't want to do this. Just confess.
He's a good guy.
He's giving
He
them
questions himself at every turn. He does it every turn. Have you guys ever seen Goodfellas?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
Okay, there's a scene where Ray Liotta's describing prison, and the guys, they cook like kings in prison. And one of the dudes, I think it's Paulie, he slices the garlic so thin with a razor blade so that it liquefies in the pan with just a little bit of oil. And I think that's like Glokta's like a chef. He's like a prison chef.
Yeah.
Like slicing the finger, so thin and totally doesn't want to cripple these guys, but he does need to get what he needs. And I just appreciate that.
That connection that you just drew for me was pretty crazy there, because Glokta slices things thin, and so does Weirin, and I think that's awesome. And then even
The cheese,
really deep.
Shala. Oh yeah, my three favorite characters right there.
Wow.
God damn, the cheese trap, dude. How could I forget? Holy fuck. Wow.
But
that's all spoilers, though. We gotta
digress. We gotta reel it back in. Yeah.
Salem Ruse though, like character spot. I think that that chubby little piggy, while he's getting flayed, he man, does he have an arc?
Yeah, I think even if you took the time, right, if you stuck it through and read the short stories and went back and read that beautiful bastard story about
Mm.
Glotka just like being the epitome of what you would want, anyone to be. Ruse is such a whiny little turd in that, and I don't connect with him at all. I don't feel anything for him.
I like how he never goes anywhere. I like that we have that moment of him in the first chapter, and in I think it was the Full Drops, actually, not A Beautiful Bastard, but don't quote me on that. And then you just never see him again. We just have that moment with him, that beautiful moment, and then that's it. He never returns.
I don't think it's the Fool Jobs. I think it's Tough Times All Over that he's in.
You are right.
Yeah.
Which one was made a monster? Right, I'm confused.
That was the Chev, one of the Chev and Jabber stories.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Is that the one where they meet Weirin?
They do. Oh, that was such
so
a good one.
Fucking cool. Yeah, so fucking cool.
Our favorite character.
So yeah, Ruse goes nowhere, And can we talk about how Joel Abercrombie does not come up with good fucking place names? Like he named a place, and whenever I think of Adua, I think of Padova or Padua in Italy, and it's like immediately like, the fuck are you doing? And then there's like a region called Angland. Like, get fucking creative, bro. It's just England with an A. What are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Doesn't know anything about geography or history.
Didn't really stretch very far on that one, did he?
Yeah, it's so weak.
Yeah. And then the worst part is that the cultures don't even match up. England is clearly reminiscent of 14th century Mexico, and Styria, which I think he meant to be like Italy, just doesn't even fit on this world at all. Like, I just don't really know where he got this information from.
It's really disconcerting that he has all the different time frames in there too, right? Because the Northmen, like, I guess he wanted them to be Vikings, but that's a totally different century than what, like, British colonialism was, and so I don't know where he was going, but
in like the Industrial Revolution's on the fucking step. Like, come on, like what fantasy series doesn't have savage Northmen? Like, come on, man. So the other thing too that kills me is that there's actually a fucking region of Austria called Styria, spelled the same fucking way. Like, pick something else, dude. What are you doing? I don't know. It's not terrible. It's just it's little things like that that break the fucking series for me. I struggle to rank into my top 3.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah. We move on to Playing with Knives. Is that the 3rd chapter or 4th chapter? I don't even know where the fuck we are.
It's a chapter.
It's
the Giselle. It's the Giselle. It's everybody's favorite hero, Giselle Dan Luthar.
Yes, everybody's favorite.
So cool.
He seems like such a good guy right off the bat.
Yeah. So
really
I'll do the quick recap for this one. So this chapter starts with Giselle playing a completely indecipherable card game. Like, I hate when I just digress, but like authors do this shit where they make up games. Like George R. R. Martin did it with his it's like Squares or whatever, where like there's a dragon piece or whatever. It's just fucking like nonsense. So Giselle's playing cards with all of his dead friends. You got Caspa, who gets killed in the first fucking action that he sees as a soldier, gets mowed the fuck down by cavalry. And then you got Jallenhorn, who gets killed by the oldest fucking man on the planet, who fails upwards his whole life, becomes a general and completely fucks it up, and gets killed charging up a hill by the oldest dude with bad fucking knees and a bad back, who's just exhausted. And then you got Brent, who like loses his wife, loses an arm, and then swan dives off of a fucking building like 9 books from now. And then the winner of them all, we got the abusive, migraine-riddled, mass-murdering, regicidal Column West, who dies of fucking magic, cancer, radiation sickness. Yeah. We have to cut all that out, don't we?
It's only minor spoilers.
Shit. Well, Giselle has no friends by the time he's king. Ah, fuck, I did it again. God damn it. Yeah, so after that, we get to see Giselle's Rocky montage where he trains with Major Varuz, or Grand Marshal Lord fucking. Thank God we don't have a High Justice. We'd be fucked.
He's like the sword trader guy, whatever, generic sword
Yeah,
trainer, right? He's the
yeah,
old Jedi type
and he
thing.
dies in the most ignominious fucking way, and Giselle does not mourn for a second, and I find that Giselle is the Sigma. He is the Sigma.
Yeah. Do we see Crown Prince Ladisla yet in
We
this?
do see
in this one?
Ladisla.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
my favorite.
He's the best.
so many layers.
So
that,
good.
that is an onion, right? That you
That
can
guy
just
is,
keep
oh my
peeling
God.
for sure. And
Dude, people call
his
Black Dow an onion, and it's like, no, Ladisla is the fucking man.
right,
Yeah.
is like
So cool.
nuance on top of nuance, and just I don't know if you guys have listened to the audiobooks either, but
Never. I heard the narrator's not very good.
No, I've listened to all of them. I to myself to that, so you don't have to. I'm the nostalgia critic.
Yeah.
He's a great YouTuber. If you ever heard of him. And Pacey, the guy that they have do it, he's just like a third rate animated voice actor, and his accents are fucking terrible. And I'm a language guy. I'm a super polyglot. I'm a super tetrahedral polyglot, and I speak like dodecanese. And I can have a good ear for accents, and the accents in this like Pacey. Everybody says that he gives like good voices for everybody else, but it's really just like the same vaguely British variation for everybody. And then the foreign characters, and this is where he fucks up with Varuz, because Varuz is a Union man through and through. We know that from Made a Monster, or whatever fucking story that was with Varuz. Varuz has like Pacey's generic foreign accent. He has one accent for foreign people, and it's like, good job, Giselle, jab. And it's like, he's not even fucking foreign, dude. What are you doing? Like, did you read the book? Jesus.
I'm really glad that I didn't listen to them. I mean, it sounds like it was just a chore to listen to.
it's a bit painful. I think the only redeeming thing in all of it is Crown Prince Ladisla, because he's got the
What a
line,
guy.
you know, it's like, "You're my man."
You're
like,
my man.
Yeah,
my
it's beautiful.
man. Like, yeah. But I mean, he is
You're
the golden child, so
You're my man.
yeah.
He's got so many great lines that just really make you think.
I gotta
And
say that.
I was sad to see him go. We'll edit that out. But
Yeah.
while we had him, it was just really meant something to me.
And that's something that I think Joel Abercrombie tries to emulate with George R. R. Martin, is that like no character. But like when you kill off your classic characters, what the fuck are you left with? Like the pot's gone, Ladisla's gone, Salem Ruse and Wirren are just off the board for the rest of the books. Like, and we're stuck with West. And I mean, I like Luthor, don't get me wrong, but like even he has like no time in the Age of Madness, and he's gone. It's like, what a waste. Fuck.
Even Forley the Weakest, right? Like, who I thought, like, just by his name alone, was going to be kind of that hidden future king, right? The unknown farm boy that came out. But no, he gets rid of him. Like,
Giselle had the arc that Forley should have had.
100% agree.
I thought, though, I don't know, Forley didn't do it for me.
Really? Why not?
I don't really care. I don't really care about him. I thought he's killed way too quick. We only get like 2 chapters with Logan's friends that he fucking hates and kills half of, and like by body weight anyway, he kills about half of them. And
Toll is big guy. Oh shit!
Fucking huge. Yeah, he's fucking huge. And we got some work to do after this, but yeah, you know, just I think Forley for me. I didn't think it was a tragedy at all. I thought like maybe he deserved it, you know, by making a dumb decision to go talk to Bethod. And I don't know.
I mean, he was pretty weak.
That's what I mean. It's like, what? Yeah.
I disagree. I personally, I was glad when he died, but I can see how you would come to that conclusion of, you know, he just there was so much potential there that was just squandered away. Yeah, I don't know. He did make kind of a dumb decision, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think
shouldn't Forley the dumbest.
Yeah.
Forley the dumbest. Oh my gosh, you should be an author.
And Josh, I think you're usually wrong, even though you're the Adeptus Historical. Did you end up I'll get to this in a second. I'll ask you in a second. But Varuz does the least fair shit to Giselle. He tells him, he's like beefing up this guy, Primus Dan Gorf, and it's like like this guy, who the fuck is this guy? Like he's nobody, he's a farmhand. Like Giselle's this nobleman who got his position through merit, unlike the rest of these fucking capitalist pigs. And Varuz is making him run like all day to the point where he's so sore. And I think, Josh, did you end up like figuring out how far exactly around the Agrion Giselle was running? Like, did you calculate that?
Well, I took in the considerations of what they said in the book, right, and the pace that Giselle was running at, and then also like the time of day and the angle of the sun, and I figured it had to have been about 13.74 miles all the way around it. But then it gets weird because the shadow of the House of the Maker is in the way, and so when you're trying to calculate that out and like also play into maybe seasonality of this make-believe world that we don't know, it got kind of iffy. So I'm going to say somewhere between 12 and 15 miles.
Jesus Christ, that's, I mean, I ran back in the day, and that would be a lot every day. That's crazy. It's grueling. You're a fucking nerd, by the way, for doing that. Like, I don't know why you would spend that kind of, like, you have nothing better to do. Like, Jesus.
I don't know. I run down these tracks sometimes, get on tangents. It was because I was homeschooled.
And let me ask you, oh, okay. Did you grow up on a farm too?
Exactly. With sheep.
In Oklahoma?
What even, is that even a state? I thought it was the Indian Territory at one point.
Oklahoma doesn't really exist. It's
No.
a make-believe place.
Okay.
It's essentially Texas's hat.
But speaking of which, maps. Did you use? Is there a map of Adjua that you to like with a scale on it to like figure out where these places are and like how to measure this stuff? Did you find that in the book in your edition?
There's not like an actual map anywhere, but there's some fan maps, and so essentially I took like what other people pulled out of their ass and then used that to like base my calculations on. Yeah.
So basically, you're just completely full of shit then about how big the Agrion is, and you don't really know.
I mean, it's the best guess I have.
Okay, that's interesting. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Which wasn't much to his defense. I mean, Joel, sorry, keep fucking up his name. Doesn't really give us this information. It's just poor world building, and so we have to do the best that we can. You are a fucking nerd, though.
Yeah, I know.
I appreciate all you do.
Yeah, that was super fucking weird, dude, that you knew off the top of your head how long. Yeah, I realized too, like, Joel Abercrombie really doesn't know a fucking thing about history, huh? Like, we just keep coming back to that. Like, he doesn't know anything about history.
It does seem like he took everything that he thought would be cool and put it in a paper bag and then just kind of dumped it out and then decided that he didn't really want to like stick to any of it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, we haven't even talked about the fucking spear, dude. Oh my. It's like painful. I can't bring up the spirits. It makes me want to throw up.
I honestly kind of just assumed the spirits weren't real and Logan was hallucinating because obviously he is crazy and none of that really comes into play later in the series. And so I just assumed he was mentally ill. Was I wrong?
No.
I think it might have been that, but then like you drew a parallel to George R. R. Martin earlier, and I think maybe it's what he did with Tyrion when like Tyrion did a backflip and then throughout the rest of the series like could never do any kind of like gymnastics again, and maybe Joe just wanted to make sure he got his one little aha in there. But Ambercrombie, I don't know why he would feel like so attached to George R. R. Martin that he would have to copy him in everything though.
But that's the issue that I have with this whole series is that it just feels so unoriginal. Like everything he's done is a direct copy of somebody else. There is Rothfuss. There is fucking Tolkien in here. I mean, he even has a character named, is it Gandalf? No. It just feels like he's just recycling the same tropes, doing everything exactly the same way. And honestly, I just wasn't really here for it.
Yeah. I think the one person I connected to the most in the whole story is probably Barnum.
Barnum. Oh my
he's
god.
Just trying to help. He's trying to help. Yeah. He wants Glocka to succeed. He wants Glocka to do the best that he can, right? And he's just there supporting him. And so, yeah.
Especially like, Glocka's, he's been wounded in war. He's a wounded vet, and everybody respects the shit out of that. But like they all pay him lip service about how great his service was. They're constantly showering with gifts, but every day, who's there cleaning up his poopy diapers? It's Barnum.
Yep. And I think when you're looking at like all the tropes that Joe fell into, right? Like maybe that was his one kernel in the whole message of the entire series that he was trying to get through. Is that you
know when he fucks it up?
Mm.
The stairs. He keeps talking about fucking stairs, and it's like, not interested, dude. Like, it took 3 pages to talk about fucking stairs.
It's literally like you don't need that long of a descriptive scene. That's what turns people off more than anything. Like that he walked up the stairs. Not that hard.
Talk about padding the fucking runtime. And people talk about this being a TV series. I think we should go. We only have like probably 20 minutes left. I want to keep this thing under an hour because I don't know who the fuck records a podcast to like an hour and 45 minutes, especially their opening episode.
Way
and
too
would
long.
think that people would stick with that. I don't know how you keep your viewership over 6. Like I don't understand.
We know better than that.
We're we're also running out of shit to talk about.
Go ahead.
No, I said we're running out of shit to talk about, but if you got anything to talk about, I'll fucking take it because we do not know this series well enough.
We could just jump to other books. I know we said no spoilers, but I feel like there's just, it's really tough to talk about these few chapters because there's not a lot there. And if we want to fill an hour, we just don't have a lot to work with. We could just open it up to everything.
Well, I skipped 2 of the books. I didn't read A Little Hatred, and I didn't read The Trouble with. So I just skipped to The Wisdom of Craft, and I read that one right after I read Best Served Cold first. So I don't feel totally qualified to like go in depth, but if you two want to cook, like you do what you got to do. And I'll put backup vocals in or something. I'll be like, how deep is your love? How deep is your love? This love story with Therese is like one of the best romance things of all time. By the way,
Romeo and Juliet.
Very, very much so. Yeah, like the destined star-crossed lovers, right?
Oh, sparks fly, man. I know.
Love it.
I know. We should all want to live up to that.
I do aspire to actually like Therese. I think she's beautiful inside and out. Especially inside.
Such a warm and inviting person.
Yeah.
So
I think bubbly is the right word. Yeah.
Comes from a phenomenal family too. She got two younger brothers, I think. Isn't that crazy? Like,
yeah, everyone's very well adjusted.
I know. Ario's so respectful to women and like very brave, and Foscar, is
he's
just
kind
dumb.
Of a dick.
Yeah, dumb as fucking nails. Hate him so much. Yeah. And Grand Duke Orso, you gotta love like a Machiavelli, especially if it's set in what's supposed to be which is weird because Adua is named after an Italian city. Like you're gonna bring them to Styria and do like Renaissance Italy all over again. Like do what you gotta do, but like Orso is your classic Renaissance man, classic Machiavelli, classic de Medici. Which again, Joe just copies shit from history and like barely knows it, so he just makes shit up.
Creativity was never a strong suit, though.
Yeah.
I do agree on the Foster note. Foster? Is it Foster? Is it Foster? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I think it's Fozzie Bear.
Fozzie Bear, that's it. Yeah, and he, to me, he was like the polar opposite of Ladisla. And I just keep coming back to like how great he was, And then we get Fozzie Bear, and Fozzie Bear is just a disappointment.
God, West really gets his comeuppance for what he did to Ladislaw. Like nothing better than magic, like radiation poisoning to send off a guy that killed his prince. You know, it's just such betrayal of everything.
It was deserved. Well,
Yeah. Do you think what Baez did was justified?
100%.
Cool.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think I really even need to go into it. I think we all know Baez is one of the unsung heroes of the story. I mean, if you think about it from a capitalistic perspective, and we are in America, and so no other cultures outside of America count, I feel like Baez is just, I mean, he's just trying to make money. I mean, like any of us are, right? And so when he saw an opportunity, he took it. And I respect that in a way. I mean, in his mind, and possibly in reality, everyone around him are just, you know, they're pawns in a giant game of chess. And you know, I think the people who run the banks are, you know, whatever you want to say about them, there's a lot to respect there. And so I do see, you know, completely where he was coming from, and I don't fault him at all for the role he plays in the story.
No, I think if
Really
you're
like that
endowed,
take.
yeah, I love that. I love that take. And if you shut up, Josh. And if you're endowed with like magical immortality and like the knowledge of gods, like why wouldn't you just like long term invest in like a bank, right? Like you're if you're going to maximize a capitalist system without having to be like part of it, like you certainly don't have to be like involved in the you know the workers being oppressed and stuff like that. But if you're going to like try to get yours, you know, and like get what you're make the most of what you're endowed with by, oh God, that brings up the fucking God thing. Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you know, long-term investments as a 1,000-year-old immortal wizard, you know, you got to do that. Like Gandalf didn't do that. Where's Gandalf's 401k? Like, the fuck was he thinking?
Yeah, what is he just traveling around setting off fireworks for midgets? Like that's not.
Yeah. Make your fucking money work, man. Make your money work for you.
At least, Baez wasn't eating people. I mean, when you look at it that way, right?
He would never
Uh,
do that.
oh
No, never.
God.
There's no, you know, holes left in the story there. Like, he's not.
So right, because Khalul is the obviously evil, dark,
Of
southern,
course.
Islamic adjacent wizard, right? And
Yes.
that's the other thing too, is that like, you know, it's obviously a rubber stamp of Islam, you know, and you know how much British people can't stand Islam. They see it as like a ridiculous, you know, charade, which is so weird because then, you know, Marxist Joel Abercrombie doesn't put a religion in the Union. What society, or the North for that matter, besides the god of death, the great leveler, like, you know, there's got to be a northern pantheon of gods of the forest or something. Like I know George R. Martin already did that, but like those ones are nameless and faceless, which is cool.
I
Like,
think the
but the
mud,
Union,
the mud,
the mud,
yeah,
yeah, they worship the mud. But the Union having no god, except for every man worships himself. No society in history, which shows Joel Abercrombie doesn't understand history at all. No human society has ever been secular. You know, like he hates Christianity. He hates God. He hates Christmas. There's not a single holiday in the Union. Like Joel Abercrombie is waging the war on Christmas, and it's another example. Ridiculous.
Yep. I bet he says happy holidays.
Jesus fucking Christ. In a British
probably.
accent too. Ugh.
Oh, bad.
Imagine a podcaster. Imagine if one of us were. Holy shit. Whew.
Just so canceled.
Yeah. Do we have anything left to talk about?
Well,
I mean, there's not a lot left in the series. I mean, at the end of the day, he didn't really give us a whole lot to work with. We've done the best with what we have, and you know, I think we can feel good about this. We you know, we really hiked up a mountain here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
better luck
Go
next
ahead.
time, Joel Abercrombie.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens on their
He'll
next
he'll
release.
listen to this. Yeah, he'll listen to this someday because he has nothing better to do. So
Exactly. Well,
The one thing though too is that we've done our Gyllenhaal, and we've gone through the first couple chapters. I don't think we missed any. I don't think there was another one that we missed, but like the pacing in the books is fucking weird. So like we kept it snappy. We did everything we had to do. We got to where we needed to get to. And this is what, if we're on a general regular schedule, we'll get our viewership up, and maybe I'll listen to the audiobooks and suffer through and make my ears bleed. But I really think we got something good here,
I think we did great.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, are we going to engage with the community at all?
Is there much of a community?
I don't think there is, and there's a lot of whining that goes on that I've seen from like the 7 people that are actually on Reddit that talk about it. So,
yeah. There's also like some sad excuse for a meme page that like is absolutely shunned by the main. But like this meme page is just the saddest shit ever. They're constantly cross posting to the main sub, and they just, it's been like 2 years and it's gone nowhere. It's like, I think podcasting is the method to really engage the people. And we're just gonna ignore the meme page. We'll ignore the sub, and we're not gonna post there ever. I don't think we should have an email. I don't think we should have a website. Maybe we'll do a YouTube channel where we post like videos of Joel Abercrombie, but with like the Benny Hill music over him, like speed him up at like a, I think we should do
Yeah.
that.
Oh, great idea.
Mm.
Well,
no
guys,
amount of effort is too little.
No,
That's for
agreed. Guys, this was so fun. I'm so glad that we came up with the idea to do a podcast. I'm so glad that there is somebody talking about these books, since they're just not very popular. And I'm really looking forward to getting back together with you guys, next week if we decide to do this again, because I think it wasn't a lot to talk about.
Next week, I don't think next week's gonna work. I have a million better things to do than talk about this series.
Honestly, I feel you.
Yeah, we'll like see how this episode does, round back in like a year, and
I like that timeline.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna start my reread of Terry Goodkind anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do something else.
Yeah, I'm gonna reread Sword of Shannara. Terry Brooks.
I think I'm gonna
definitely
go back to
not Harry Potter.
Yeah. I mean, it just really I just feel like it's better written and more my speed.
More consistent too. I think having an author commenting on their work is really important. I think that keeps the community. I feel like Joel Abercrombie would just retcon everything, and I don't think that's a good move for him. I think he's got a weird, non-personal style, but I think Rowling has the pulse of she has like the zeitgeist really in hand.
She's just up on the social issues of the day and has really valuable things to say. I love hearing her opinions on what's going on in the world. Yeah, inspiring. All right.
So fuck both of you, and
yep, you too.
Yep, and
cheers.
Cheers. The Archlector is signing off.
Have a good night, guys. This was fun. We'll never do it again.
Never do it again. April. So this one goes out to George, Harrison, and Jeffrey. We hate all of you, and April Fools, fuck faces.
Fuck off.
April Fools.
Eat shit and die.
Bye.
Bye.